Hello and welcome to the SMBE business meeting for the year 2021. My name is Harmit Malik and I have the honor of being the SMBE president for this year. This meeting was pre-recorded on June 16th, 2021. For today's agenda, we're going to discuss the status of SMBE, council and election results, information about the SMBE 2021 meeting that you're attending, future SMBE 20 meetings, as well as new initiatives and exciting upcoming opportunities. First, we'll discuss the status of SMBE. SMBE remains in excellent financial health. This is in large part due to the success of our flagship journals, both MBE and GBE, which continue to flourish. SMBE Council aims to return all profits generated from our journals back into the community via the annual meetings, Merit and Carer Awards, regional meetings, satellite meetings, and new initiatives. And I'll talk about these last three items towards the end of this business meeting. SMBE, as of writing this, have about 2,700 members. This is an incredible opportunity to log into the SMBE membership because it's actually a 3-year membership, which is only $30 for non-students and only $10 for students, making it one of the cheapest memberships to any scientific society. As of June 9, 2021, when this report was generated, SMBE has 2,732 members. This is actually up almost 17% from 2020 and at a historical high. Indeed, because of the multi-year membership cycle, SMBE will begin 2022 with more than 1,500 members by default. Quite encouragingly, 39% of our members are students, and with the introduction of a significant number of free student memberships, as well as postdoc and faculty memberships in underrepresented countries, we continue to expand SMBE membership, and we hope to continue these efforts in the coming year. There are numerous benefits to SMBE memberships, including reduced registration. Of course, this year's meeting is completely free for all members. Eligibility for travel awards and registration waiver awards, eligibility for the prizes afforded by MBE, as well as career achievement awards, eligibility to apply for funds for satellite and regional meetings that you can organize, for carer support, as well as discounted publication charges for MBE and GPE. But perhaps most importantly, it's an opportunity to be part of the molecular evolution community that we're all really excited to be part of. One of the flagship journals is, of course, MBE, which is one of the premier journals in the field of molecular evolution. MBE has gone from strength to strength over the years and is still considered one of the most prestigious journals to publish in. We note that the number of submissions to MBE have not wavered despite a move to open access in 2021. So this is a very encouraging sign. Just to offset the increased cost to publish in MBE, we actually have a fairly generous full or partial fee waiver policy, which the authors can request either at submission or within a week after acceptance. Our working principle so far has been that inability to pay these publication charges should not be a bar to publish for any SMBE members, and we hope to sustain this as much as we can. With this news, it's also important to point out that Dr. Sudhir Kumar, who's actually ending his second term as editor-in-chief in 2022, according to SMBE mandates, this is the final term for Sudhir, who's actually really been instrumental in sustaining and actually advancing MBE as one of the premier journals in the field. It's not going to be easy to fill his shoes, but an international search has been just launched for the next EIC of MBE. This has been the selection committee has been appointed by the SMBE Council and will be chaired by Dr. Aoife McLeod, who is the former SMBE president. We welcome nominations, including self-nominations for this very important position. In some sense, the editors-in-chief positions are as or more important than any council member positions, given the long-term impact they have on the health of the society. We are strongly considering a co-editor-in-chief model, just like what we currently have for GBE. Please see the SMB website for details, or please contact Dr. Aoife McLeod if you have an interest or are interested in nominating somebody else. Similarly, GBE has actually sustained its strength as the sister journal for MBE with a very strong impact factor, but also a growing sort of new initiatives, including special issues, reviews, perspectives, highlights, as well as OUP or Oxford University Press blog posts. There's an active monitoring of both MBE and GBE editorial boards to ensure proper diversity, as well as an assessment of how the evaluation of manuscripts is affected by potential author gender analysis, just to ensure that there are no biases that are creeping into our evaluation process. Just like MBE, there's a generous full or partial fee waiver policy that the authors can request, and there are lots of really exciting opportunities underway, including other very special issues that have been planned by the editors in chief. GPE has also been very successful with its social media campaigns. This was an effort that was launched last year, and this has continued to pay additional dividends in terms of additional views and traffic. And I'd encourage you to continue tweeting about your favorite MBE and GBE articles in social media as well. Now, turning to the council and election results, your SMBE council is listed here. As always, it consists of the president, the past president, and the president-elect. To ensure some continuity, there are 3-year terms for the secretary and the treasurer, as well as the councillors who are appointed for 3-year terms. The editors-in-chief of our flagship journals are considered ex officio members of our council and participate in most of the council meetings, but don't actually vote. We recently held elections for our next year's representatives on the SMB Council, and this election had about a 21.3% participation rate. This is about average, which basically means that many SMB members don't actively participate in the elections. We are actively looking to how to encourage this, but this has really been the sort of historical average for a very long time. I'm pleased to report the election results for the 2021 elections. We have President-elect Dr. Katrina Makova from Penn State University. We have 2 new councillors who will be coming on, Maria Avila Arcos and Jeffrey Os Ibarra. So we are very excited to work with these individuals for the betterment of the SMBE society. With the introduction of new members to the council, of course, we also will be saying goodbye to some members of our SMBE council whose term ends in 2021. These include Marta Wayne, who's the past president this year and will be cycling off the council, as well as Mary O'Connell and Beth Shapiro, who are not just the SMBE councillors, but actually are 2 of the main organizers for SMBE 2021. It's really important to emphasize a very huge thank you to these amazing people. The legacy of SMBE and councils is really driven by a completely voluntary basis. And a large number of the efforts that are taking fruit right now are largely the sort of work of previous presidents and council members who set the agenda in action. So I'm really grateful for them for all of the work that they've put into the SMBE meeting. Now turning to SMB 2021, some announcements and as well as announcements about awards. To start off, I just want to thank the 3 other people who are the co-main organizers of SMB 2021, Beth Shapiro, Mary O'Connell, and Lulu Starter, who's our SMBE administrator. This was an incredible amount of work, and I'm very grateful for these individuals to really set what has already been a very busy year aside and really contribute meaningfully to organizing a meeting basically from scratch with many new models. I'd also like to thank the rest of the SMB Council and Chris Lapine, our partner at Allen Press, because of their very strong encouragement and help. For the first time this year, we've basically gone to a 3-hub model for our organization so that we can actually have a fairly equal representation among SMB membership across multiple time zones. So I'm really grateful to the hub organizers who first volunteered to be hub organizers and then really helped us with a number of important issues about organization and symposia selection. from the EU and Africa hub, from the Asia and Oceania hub, and from the Americas hub. I especially note the fact that many of these organizers are early career scientists who made spectacular contributions to the success of our meeting. I also want to give a special thank you to the people who volunteered to organize symposia in SMB 2021, including the people whose symposia were not selected because of space constraints, but we are very grateful because it's really your work that ultimately forms the backbone of SMB meetings. I wanted to give some details about how SMBE 2021 came about. It became clear in fall 2020, after the cancellation of our Quebec City meeting, that the uncertain status related to the pandemic would actually affect the organization of the SMBE 2021 meeting that was originally scheduled for Auckland, especially given the travel constraints that would be associated with the pandemic. The decision was made to postpone the Auckland meeting to SMBE 2022 and the Italy meeting to SMBE 2023. The final stages of selection for the SMBE 2024 meeting in the Americas are underway, but at the time of this recording, the venue has not been finalized. Once a decision was made by Marta Wayne, who is the president of SMBE last year, that we will be organizing SMBE 2021 as a virtual meeting, we've constituted a small group of people, including myself as the president-elect and two council liaisons, to act as the main organizers or the local organizing committee for the SMBE virtual 2021 meeting. We wanted to create a meeting that provided as much of the flavor of an in-person SMBE meeting, so not overwhelmed a number of symposia, but to sort of allow people to engage with the meeting with as much as they could, given the time and space constraints that they were subject to. But we also wanted to adopt this ambitious three-hub model that I've already spoken about as a prequel to how we would like to organize our meetings in the future. There are many pros of organizing these meetings that we've discovered. Of course, the biggest one that will be obvious is that there is no travel associated with these meetings. This is, of course, a huge advantage in the context of a pandemic, but there's also a big advantage in terms of lowering carbon costs about our meetings and ensuring the sustainability of our meetings going forward. The pre-recorded talks allow a la carte engagement as per the convenience of the registrant, whether they would like to engage live with the speaker or with recorded talks. Both of them are available. There are multiple broadcasts of these pre-recorded talks during a 24-hour period, which actually allows SMB members to engage with the talks and posters based on time of their convenience rather than when the live talks were actually recorded. This is a truly international meeting with hub and symposia organizers in many countries, including many early career scientists. There are still many traditional advantages of SMB meetings, including carer awards, because it's still not possible to attend a virtual meeting even without having some sort of help at home. So we were really encouraging people to apply for these carer awards, and many of these awards have been awarded. The other advantage is because the meeting is completely online, we can afford to make registration completely free for all SMBE members and to assist people who still have hardship paying the SMBE membership fee. Many free memberships were offered. We anticipate a total of nearly 100 new memberships will be offered when all is said and done. We also, because of this organization scheme, were able to explicitly address equity criteria at all levels of selection, from a hub organizer level to symposia selection level to finally speaker selection level. And then finally, this was a huge savings cost, not least because of the travel costs that were saved, which will actually translate to more generous and more numerous travel awards in the coming years that will allow us to encourage more people to attend in Auckland and in Italy in the coming years. There are, of course, some significant cons with this. One of the most significant cons that we can improve in future years is the fact that there were very tight deadlines. This was partly because this was our first go around at this meeting, and we wanted to minimize chances of a logistical breakdown. So we ended up going with the pre-recorded talks for many of the reasons I've already described. We spent a lot of time canvassing different platforms and formats and attending many different meetings to assess the pros and cons of different formats. Then we also canvassed for different vendors to organize our meeting space, and this also took time. Because of this, we needed to solicit all the talks and posters several weeks before the meeting instead of several days in advance. As a result, some speakers had to back out because of the very tight deadlines, and we are apologetic about this, and we hope to do much better about this in the future. There were also some complaints about the dates overlapping with a major holiday in the US. Although we were locked in this year, we will make sure that we will try to avoid this conflict in future years, and also try to avoid conflicts with meetings by our sister societies. The bottom line is that we've learned a lot this year and have built institutional memory if we ever have to do this again or move to a hybrid model meeting in the future. And we are actually quite well prepared because of this to do so. I am now delighted to announce the SMBE 2021 awards. First, the Undergraduate Mentorship Awards, which was selected by Mary O'Connell, who's the council member in charge of these awards. We are pleased to award 8 Undergraduate Mentorship Awards to these 8 individuals who are from Russia, China, Germany, USA, and Sweden. Even though they don't have an opportunity to travel since it's a virtual meeting this year, we will honor their contributions and also offer them opportunities to travel to a future SMB meeting when it's actually held as an in-person meeting. Similarly, we are delighted to announce our Graduate Student Excellence Award winners, who are these 8 amazing scientists who were selected in a very, very tough competition from among very talented applicants for these awards. The selection panel was chaired by Marta Wayne as SMB past president, along with other distinguished members of our community. And finally, the faculty awards was selected by a committee chaired by Aoife McLysott, as well as other distinguished members of our community. I'm delighted to announce the results of these awards, and hopefully you've already heard some of these excellent keynote talks at this meeting. The Early Career Excellence Award was awarded to Dr. Kelly Harris from the University of Washington. Dr. Tanya Stadler was awarded the MidCareer Excellence Award for SMBE, and she's at the ETH in Zurich. And finally, the SMB Lifetime Contribution Award was awarded to Dr. Mike Lynch. This is our most prestigious award, and Dr. Mike Lynch is currently at Arizona State University. This year, we are also delighted to announce a special Services to the Society award that was awarded by SMB Council to Lee Thorne in recognition and profound appreciation of her advice and help related to our annual meetings, especially related to the disruption that was associated with the Quebec 2020 meeting. Thank you very much, Lee. Now turning to future SMBE meetings, as you all know, SMBE 2022 has been scheduled for Auckland for between the 10th and the 14th of July in 2022. We are aware, of course, that large parts of the world are still dealing with the COVID pandemic. So the final decision about the exact format of 2022 meeting will be made in October 2021 by the local organizing committee in Auckland in consultation with the SMB Council liaisons. Possibilities include a hybrid meeting with in-person attendance in the travel bubble zones in Australia and New Zealand, and either virtual elsewhere or with a hub and spokes model, as we've tried to do with the SMB 2021 meeting. In either scenario, significant content is expected to be made available for virtual engagement via either live recording or pre-recorded seminars. In 2023, SMB will move to Ferrara, Italy between the 23rd and 27th of July for an exciting meeting, which is going to be organized by several colleagues in Italy. This is a meeting that's actually organized in the historical city center of Ferrara, and it'll be a fun meeting with a multi-venue or diffuse conference that's located along the historical city center. There is, of course, a possibility of a hybrid meeting that is also being discussed, but once again, going forward, the idea is that significant content of the SMB meetings will be made available online for online engagement. Just to summarize, this is the current status of our future SMB meetings. We are in the late stages of deciding between 3 fantastic finalists for the 2024 Americas meeting, which are Banff in Canada, Houston in the USA, and Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. We will be considering proposals for the 2025 meeting in summer or fall of 2022. I'm going to end the business meeting by telling you a little bit about new initiatives and upcoming opportunities. We've made a lot of progress under Dr. Madhaven's watch, progressing on the IDEA task force to sort of focus our efforts as a society on diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have approved an IDEA task force that will be appointed by Council in 2020, and so nominations will be open just at the end of this meeting. The structure is that this task force will be advisory to the SMB Council. It will consist of 10 members, which include 2 SMB councillors, but also 8 members from our general membership. The charge is to provide concrete recommendations for broadening representation and inclusion in all aspects of the society via quarterly reports to the Council. As part of our commitment, we will also be funding IDEA proposals, which is basically up to $25,000 per year with a detailed budget plus 4 pages maximum for the proposal. At least one member of the team proposing these IDEA proposals has to be an SMBE member. The goal is to fund activities to increase representation or collect data to identify exclusion and how we can do better as a society. The proposals will be selected by 3 SMBE council members to sort of decide among the things. And it's not necessary that we'll only select one proposal. If there are multiple excellent proposals, we may award more than one proposal. We are making significant efforts to make our meetings much more sustainable. The Quebec meeting in 2020, even though unfortunately it was cancelled, it was actually our first serious attempt at a more sustainable meeting, thanks to the efforts of the local organizing committee, including Christian Landry and Nadia Obenhort. They created the first plastic-free meeting with opt-in swag and arranged for any extra food to be donated to local food pantries. The goal was to do a carbon-neutral meeting by purchasing the local organizing committee recommended carbon offset groups that SMB would also make initial as well as matching contributions to. This meeting was also going to be the first to record talks to make them available for people who cannot find it easy to travel, and also to incentivize train travel and other travel that was less significant carbon cost to travel to the particular meeting. Additional ideas that were explored and are on table for future meetings are to identify locally sourced food supplies and either go completely vegetarian or with opt-in meat options only, and considering virtual meetings in the regular rotation with our meetings that are normally scheduled in a 3-year rotation between the Americas, in Europe, as well as in Asia or Oceania. We're considering a hub and spokes model for meetings in the future, and this is something that we are excited about, and we hope that you can give us feedback about how you would like to see these meetings achieve our goals of scientific interaction as well as sustainability. I will end with the fact that we will have a call for 2 types of meetings going out very soon after SMBE 2021 ends. The first type of the meeting is the regional meeting, which is a multi-topic meeting that is a small meeting that's focused on a single geographical region so that we can limit travel within a small travel bubble. The intention is for these to be in-person meetings to sustain local communities of molecular evolution and provide opportunities for trainees in particular to present their work to each other and to faculty members. In addition, we will have satellite meetings that are single topic meetings that are again small meetings but intended to be a mostly hybrid meeting with global participation centered around one topic, very much like the SMB satellite meetings that many of you might already be familiar with. SMBE will support up to $40,000 per meeting, but it will also support, in addition, a small number of travel scholarships and carer awards to allow participants to fully participate in these meetings. The organizers have to be SMBE members, and early career scientists are especially encouraged to apply to get some experience with organization, but also to actually have some control over the organization of these particular meetings. The announcements for these meetings will be made in mid-August with potentially late September or mid-October deadlines, and the meetings can be organized either in late 2021 or anytime in 2022. I hope you will take advantage of these meetings. We currently anticipate funding a total of between 10 to 12 meetings, so there'll be lots of opportunities for you to organize a meeting of your choice. With that, I'll bring this business meeting to a close. I understand that in a typical business meeting, there's lots of opportunities for back and forth questions. Unfortunately, this format doesn't allow us to do that, but I hope you will find me in the Gather Town, or if you don't find me, please send me questions by email or by Twitter, or channel questions to me through Lulu Starter at the email address that I've indicated here. Thank you very much for your time.